Let's work with some guides now. So I'll create a new document here, and I will try a web design. So let's try something where 1024 by 768 is good, but I don't want it to be wider than it is tall. So I'm going to swap this out. 768 width by 1024 height, and click OK. There we go. Looks like a sheet of paper, but it's really about doing a web design. And basically, what all I want to do is set up some margins here. Now, in the ruler video, I showed you how to do that, which is Command R. And we've seen that we're set up with inches. Now, if you'd like to change that, just like I showed you before, I can hold down the Control key on the Mac and change units here. So I'll go to pixels. And if you wanted to do that on a Windows machine, you would hit right mouse button to click it. Okay. Let's see here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click in my ruler and drag out to about 36 or 32.6 pixels. And I'll drag another one. And I'm going to take a little guess here about how far it is away from the edge. That looks good. And I'll drag one from the top. And I'll drag one from the top, and I'll also drag that down to the bottom. Okay. Now what's neat about this kind of stuff is guidelines and grids will do the same thing, but guidelines are nice because you can use them as places to, it's called snapping. Okay. So what happens is if you click and maybe create a shape like this in the center, it's like, okay, that's cool, but what if I'm working towards the edge? Well, there's this thing called snap, and what's happening here is, and it's a little bit hard to detect at first, especially if you're just watching on my screen, but what's happening here is when I get close to that blue guideline edge, what happens is Photoshop actually kind of pulls my tool over so that it sticks right to that edge. That's called snapping. So Photoshop is trying to help me here. Now, it's not difficult to actually move past that, but it does snap and kind of pull you in that direction. So guidelines are good for that. And they're good for other things also. You can lay out grids in a way. So let's say that we want to, I'm going to move this out of the way. I'll move that out of the way. Let's say we go back and create a rectangle that is within the boundaries of the grid. And it works very well.